And I don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus. Give me a crisp pair of jeans, nigga, button up.
Somebody will call me Cisco B. I'll laugh at that shit too. You got it, B. I start doing the dance and don't let B.
Oh, dude, that's horrible, dude. Alright, so welcome back to another episode of The Table of Truth. It's your man Cam. We got a special episode today. It's called Dating Like an Adult. To the right of me is...
Yo, what up? It's Pope. What's going on, man?
To the left of me is...
What's going on? It's Dwayne.
And across from me...
And Snipes, what's going on, y'all?
And we got two special guests today. Over to my right, we have...
Think with socks on.
And, I was like...
You can't look like that.
I was like...
I got a horse.
Dude. And then right across we have...
Charles Deveaux, loverules.us.
See, that's how you're supposed to enter, though. How you doing? My name's Cam. All right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about dating like an adult. So everyone here is 30 plus.
Yeah.
I'm actually 29. So
30 plus. And so it's gonna be pretty interesting. So we have
29.
we're all basically trying to talk about how now with dating, everyone's kind of actually, you know what? Right now, no one really knows how to date. We still date like we're in literally elementary school, high school sometimes. Yeah, I'll say high school, but sometimes even elementary. And so I'm gonna put it out to the floor and say just to get everyone's opinion about it. Like, you know, where do you see dating just in general? So we'll start with Charles first.
Where do I see? Yeah, no, I think people are generally looking to. I don't know. I think in many cases people are trying to hook up. I think people are looking for something legit, but I think that they're cashing in for the quickie.
Negative socks?
Where do I see dating right now?
Yeah, like just the general state of things.
That's just a weird question. One.
No, like, huh?
I see it in the streets. I see it, you know, there's guys and girls, there's guys and guys, girls and girls. You know, depending on the video you're watching, you know, but
What neighborhood you're in?
If you look at the news reports and things of that nature, it looks like it's in a bad spot. You know, the rates for divorce are 50% right now in America. You know, always like this angry black woman post going up somewhere on the internet. You know, or the black guy supposedly in jail. So if that's what's going on according to the news, then it's in bad shape. That's where I could see it, but I don't think that's a reality. There are people that are actually in relationships that actually make things work. But there are people that are on Maury Povich, which I watch lovingly.
You are not father.
Or there's a lot of tweet on whose marriage has also failed.
yeah.
Like okay, that's to be expected.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
here it is again.
Like when what's the name? When they had the rumor about Will and Jada breaking up, everybody was going crazy about it. Like, oh, I was expecting it, or they were saying, I can't believe it's happening.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
That's like the holy grail. Like if they break up,
Right.
oh man, what?
Somebody wrote that. It's like that's in the Black Love.
Right. And then the Black Love. Yeah.
Exactly.
Another one with the
I know they was at that level as
No,
we
because
were following
a
them.
lot of people look at them as like the hit
Role model.
poster, yeah.
I don't know how.
In real
'cause,
life.
like
In real life.
there's other people like
But they got
Denzel.
a
He's been married for like 20 years.
You don't know his wife. She's not
Yeah,
famous.
but at the same time, Denzel went on TV said that actually did he go on TV and say he had actually had some infidelity? No.
Oh, wait, I heard something about that with Sanaa Lathan. Something like that.
I don't know.
Hey, you know what, Denzel? My friend.
Everyone else did it.
You didn't go out. You didn't go out like that.
Or he said something to the effect of my wife has had plenty of reasons to leave me, but he said it maybe discreetly, but that was kind of a conversation for a minute, where I think Will and Jada, they are the poster children.
Well, I guess for our generation now.
For our generation of
It's
successful
been
men.
10 years from now?
13, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's been a long time.
Well, also the lady from the Atlanta Housewives. She the black Asian one, and she dated the pro football player. I forgot her name at this point.
The Ocho Cinco one? Or
No, that's the other show. He said Housewives.
Wait,
not
that's the Basketball Wives.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there were so many different ones because
you
I
do.
hate all of them.
All these wives, right?
Basketball Wives. Hip Hop Love or something like that. I don't know.
There's one of those too. That's
Yeah,
the thing with
see.
Jim Jones.
I can't do it.
I didn't see
I
that
can't.
one.
He never showed being broke lives, man. Girls dated broke motherfuckers.
I wait for Blogger Wives.
Blogger Wives.
Blogger Wives.
Broke lives?
I read your Facebook page.
I didn't talk about me. Nah, I didn't talk about you.
Yo, your Facebook update was mad anonymous. You talking about me, yo?
All right, so for the audience, what's everybody's status right now? Marital, single, whatever. So we'll go around the room. Dwayne. Why are you guys laughing for? I'm just asking questions here. I'm just asking questions.
Man. Let's talk
As
adults,
we're
man.
dating as adults, so please say your status.
Alright, I'm dating.
Ant?
As an adult.
Yeah, as an adult. I'm about to get my Jay-Z on it and like, start laughing and shit.
Charles,
Married.
Ans,
Engaged.
Hope,
Single.
Cam, single. All right, so now at least everybody knows where we're at. You have a little different range of everything, so
Single and dating.
yeah, pretty much single and dating.
Women?
Wait.
Women?
Yes, women.
Just checking.
No
checking.
one's seen it, yo. No one's
The
seen
law is
it.
legal now. It's legal in New York. We gotta make sure.
But you know what? Charles had a good thing where he was talking about how we should do a couple like if-then statements. So it's like if you're doing this, then you might be doing this. So give a good example.
Example. All right. Okay. This was an easy one just to jump in. If you, I don't know, hanging out with your boys, you guys are having a talk, and one of the guys is more experienced, and he kind of puts you on to a little trick to be able to get the women to notice you more. And I was thinking, if you take that one little trick, right, that insight, and you begin to use it to, date more women and basically to chase after some booty, definitely not dating like an adult, right? Still on Playboy level. Mm-hmm. As opposed to taking it to use, hey, I'm now increasing the amount of women I'm talking to, but I'm using it to create connections. I'm using it to, really be able to understand women and get more understanding. Now you're dating like an adult.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sense. Yeah, exactly. It's
Nah,
like having powers, like special powers and using it for the wrong reasons.
Right. Using it versus using it for good. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you end up being a villain.
Hate run through you.
Yeah.
No, that's true because you got that one trick pony where it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this the one thing I always do to all these different girls. It still works, so I'm gonna keep doing it over and over and over again, as opposed to having some insight of why you do that, or does it help you overall, just in terms of like you said, making connections or being more social, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think because it's funny because some people are talking about how you have like the old pimps, like they were pimping at one time and now they're not pimping anymore. Fat, they got a girl now, they're chilling, so they'll be giving out secrets to their friends or to whatever. And it's funny because a lot of the older ones, they'll tell them like, well, if you just want to smash all the girls, just do this, boom, have fun. Right. But if you want to actually have a better connection with women just in general, whether it's of course that's part of you're always going to have that mentality, but if you want something that's going to expand on your understanding of women, then you might want to do this and kind of get better at that.
Most people that are coming out of their 20s and into their 30s, I think they're focused more on, and I don't know if they got to the point where they're ready to start getting in relationships and they just think about having sex and just busting off as much as possible, man.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I think it also comes down to like where you live. Like I think being in New York, you're gonna date a lot more than you being, in the Midwest where there's one girl and you gotta drive to see her. You come from borough to borough if I want to right now.
But it's funny, when you're young, the first thing we always says, all I need is one girl.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
Love her for the rest of my life.
So she breaks your
19,
heart.
20 come around, I need about 9, 10 of those. That's just how it is, man. It
You feel
ain't
like that until you date her and something happens. You get your heart broken and you're like, yo, fuck these bitches, man. I'm trying to get some tail, but yes, it.
Yo, the advice
that's
the advice I always got growing up, people would be like, yo, just date as much as you can. No one has ever said, yo, find that special girl. It's always been like, yo, smash out as many girls as you can.
Yeah,
enjoy your life.
That's true. They should say play the field, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Play the field and get a feel for it, right?
Exactly.
Soya Royal Oats. That's what King Mufasa told me. When
movie, man. That's when your Lion King
That
up
was a
with
young
your-
Simba.
One of my friends, his dad said the same thing, but he was just like, you should date as many women as you can, and he was like, more so you have an understanding of what you don't want. And he was like, if you date, a lot of different women, you see different personalities and things you like, things you don't, but at least you have a better understanding where it's like, okay, I'm gonna look for just that one girl. I'm just gonna keep my head focused on that one. And I know people like that too. They don't date at all, but they're waiting for a wife to just kind of magically come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, whew, all right, cool, we can marry tomorrow. Things is good. I've been waiting for you for 27 years. Let's make it happen, But it's weird because and sometimes. I don't know.
It's a tough one, right?
It's called Match.com, actually.
I know somebody, we don't say no names on the show, who hasn't dated. He's 30 right now, 31. He just started dating. He found a girl at 29 and a half. He found that one girl, put on 400 pounds, got her a kid in 5 months, and that's it. And my biggest fear is he never went into that heartbreak, that uppercut. Like, baby, it's over. when we young, it hurts. You can't be getting that pain at 31, 20.
Yeah.
That's heart attack.
No,
right
you
there,
can't get
man.
that pain for the first time at that.
At that
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
You can still catch that
So,
joint now.
and he
yo.
could, and the only reason why he was like that because he was into the game. Other activities but girls. Don't ask me why. That's just what it is.
So you say the first time out, he
But he
linked up.
finally hit that one, and he's in love. Got her a kid, but he doesn't have experience. He doesn't have no armor. When that sword comes for the swing, he's going to get killed, man.
Yeah, he doesn't have
No
scars.
experience.
There's
yeah,
no
nothing.
experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I think with dating a lot, it's just for experience.
You know
that
that's-
nigga hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That nigga hurt more than you're happy. It's just what it is. That's just what it is, man.
But that's really that's part of it, right? Is taking your lumps, right?
Taking
I mean,
your
because it's not even anybody's out there really trying to be malicious. Few are, right? I think, I don't know. I'm gonna throw this out there. I think a lot of guys that go on to play actually a long time. You know, if you go back, you find out there was some point they had a nice young woman, and they were serious about her, and she wasn't so serious about them.
They just wasn't on the same plateau.
Right. Something happened, and they felt like, you know what? I mean, I was really about this young woman, right? But she wasn't ready for me. Maybe she just wants maybe a hot boy, a bad boy, whatever it is. You know what? I can do that.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of guys when you kind of peel back the layers, it's like they remember that one that broke their heart.
Yeah.
They haven't gone back in yet. You know what I mean? But they'll keep kind of girl after girl after girl. They're not, again, not malicious, but not really ready to commit again as well.
They set themselves to a certain level and they refuse to go past that level.
Bad.
It's like my level is getting in between your legs, and then once we hit that point, deuces.
Right. Or we can chill, but
I can come through every Thursday night, after the kid goes to sleep and nobody's around.
Right.
Hit it up and head on.
But I think that what he said, Ann said, is the real deal.
He's like
Specific.
Like, you threw me off. I'm like,
We got an appointment.
yeah,
Got an appointment.
personal right now.
No,
But,
one of my friends, he was saying,
I was about to ask Charles, you know Nikki? Something about his girl I used to date.
did she tell you? Did she tell you?
yeah, one of my friends, he was like talking about how you have, like you said, like a nice guy that finds that girl that he really likes, but she wasn't ready for him or whatever, so she kind of like dogged him out, and he got his heart broken. So he's like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna be a pimp. I'm just gonna do dog girls out too." So then he meets a really nice girl, kind of dogs her out. Then she's like, "Damn, I hate guys. I'm just gonna be a bitch." And the cycle keeps going over and over again. And so it was interesting when he said that. I was like, that can't be true. And then I started to again just kind of look over people that I know and see their personalities and how they reacted to a lot of the situations, and that usually happens. Like it takes a long time. You build up your defenses, and you want to like let them go down, and then you get hurt again. Well, it's right back up.
Right back up fast, and they say guys heal slower. You know what I mean? But it's a contact sport. Honestly, I like kind of what Ann was saying. You kind of got to get back in the game. You take your lumps. It's not really a foul, like an intentional foul. In most cases, it's not an intentional foul.
It's just what it is.
It's part of the game, right? Half the time it's defense, right?
It's just defense,
but people are really kind of shy to get back in the game after they've been hit down, knocked down. That's part of the game.
No one likes to get hurt.
Suit back up, get the helmet on, and
That shit's tough, man.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
like being hurt, you watch TV, you hear a song, you feel like that shit's about you. Like, yo,
Singing Usher songs. You got it, man.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, baby.
Everything you hear, you're like, yo, this shit's about
It
me.
could be the hardest dude on the block. Crowbar, dragon killer. You get hurt, that dragon ain't spitting no fire.
He done, man.
Yo, everybody goes to
And
that,
the radio knows every song to play.
When you're
back
hurt.
to back, yo.
Somehow.
You be like, man,
Fuck the station, change the station, and be like, end of the road.
And what makes it worse, you can say, I'm gonna just call up 3-5 jump offs. Once you call them, you're gonna be like, yo,
I miss this bitch.
I miss it. And that's when you're gonna notice the strengths of what you had when you meet somebody else that's not even on that level.
Because then you like,
You like,
she don't
yo,
do it like the way this
get-
chick used to do it, yo.
They're not even about sex anymore. And then you start saying, yo, yeah. That's why I said, get your armor up, man. Because this person I'm talking about, I hope you know me, I would say the name, but I'm not. When you first relationship, all I'm saying is when that time comes and he does get the.
But we know
Okay,
a
just
couple
like
people
it.
like that,
You
yo.
say it.
yeah, why can't it be a happy ending, yo? Like maybe it's a good thing.
Like,
Like,
say when,
It's like
right?
the Cosby Show, man.
Yeah.
But why? It doesn't have to be when.
yeah, because maybe they get married, they have like a bunch of kids, and they have a nice 40, 50-year marriage.
Maybe
and
he
everything's
did it
happy.
right. He
Yeah.
did it right. He
Okay,
went that route.
Back in the days, that's how relationships used to go. People get married and they just ride that joint out to the
I
end.
would say,
like me?
I would
Like
say,
me?
I would
Let's
say,
go.
I see the formula of it going the other way.
Oh.
Oh, okay, so you're trying to see the right. You see the writing on the wall.
He's messing with the girl. I seen it last night. It's gonna be over.
You came in with a horse and carriage. Now you can't. Now you can't pick up the sword no more. Too heavy.
Oh man.
Almost too heavy. You tripping over
Wesley
the
Snipes,
You tripping
man.
over the cake. It's just I see. Yo, all I'm saying is,
I seen it.
Don't wait 40 years to get a girl, man.
So what's he
Get
do
as
now?
you can. I don't know what he do now. Yo,
He cried. Is he cried?
So now he's got to talk to an OG.
it's pretty much he got it. Congratulations, but
Good for him.
he.
Why can't we just leave it at that, yo?
Let's leave it as
Yeah, like he's gonna have to
Yo.
learn.
Yo,
There's nothing we could tell him.
Can I
or
live?
anybody could tell him.
Can I live?
He has to learn. You know what I mean?
Can I live?
I'm not hating, but I'm not
not
gonna say.
hating, he's
I'm not gonna say.
he's concerned.
I'm not
He's
gonna say I'm Yoda, but I
Yeah.
can foresee the future.
Okay. I got another one.
Based
I got
off, based
that
off
it is.
that's all I'm trying to say.
I got another one. What if a guy's been dating a girl for a long time, dating a young woman for a long time, and is not popping the question because he quote unquote has to get his things together, quote unquote have X amount of money set aside,
Yeah.
quote
Get my
unquote
business straight.
has to exactly quote unquote
Get my
have
credit
to the credit score up, quote unquote have to have the house purchased.
Get my sneaker game straight.
Nest egg already set aside. Right, sneaker game tight. Whatever it is, not dating like an adult. What do you think?
I agree with that.
What?
personally.
Wait
Like-
until you get everything right.
No, he said
Yeah.
it's not. He said it's not dating like an adult.
I agree that it's not dating like
Oh,
an
okay.
adult.
I think dating
Because-
like an adult is dating with a purpose.
Yeah.
When you know I'm looking for this person, and like you're like, all right, I'm with her for the 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't see a future. Next, you're dating with a purpose. When you start dating, like, all right, I'll hang around with her for 5 years, 7 years,
That's just a
whatever.
waste of time.
Waiting around, like you're wasting her time and your time.
Yeah.
So you have a purpose, like, all right, I'm looking for this. You are not it. Bye. That's more of adult. It might be hard.
But suppose you don't know what that it is yet, so you just hanging on until you find out what that it
Then
is.
you-
It's
It
still
might not be the it, and it might.
Honestly, from personal experience, you're being selfish. Because if you both know what you want and what you don't want.
you could tell
You-
early.
you know
early,
up front. And when you get to that point, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have a conversation. And again, this is from personal experience. Like you get to a point where you're like, what we gonna do? And if you don't let that person go, then and you like, yo, let's just fuck around. Let's see what's going on. You're being selfish. You're not being real to the relationship, and that's it. You're not dating like an adult.
Because you not knowing is you like already knowing that it's not
It's not
it's
enough.
not there. And if you
Yeah.
finally
You just
give
making
in,
excuses to say I wouldn't get
because you know
such
like
and such.
I dated this girl off and on for 5 years. And we would sit there and have a conversation. She'd be like, "Yo, we're so good together." This, that, and the third. I'd be like, What are you talking about? Well,
That's the bad- the
but
bad
it was
was
like,
like,
we kept going back and forth, off and on for 5 years, and it was like, yo, she's cool, I like her, but if you really, I can look back now. You ask me, did I see going all the way? I never saw that, but I was still with her
You just-
off and on for
yeah.
5 years. It was comfortable,
You
and I wasn't
enjoyed
being
it,
lazy.
and you didn't want to go out and do anything else.
And that's why I said people are
Yeah,
dating,
It's
right?
still just like,
Now you wanted something
But you
long
ain't
term,
wanna
right? But you were going for what was that's why I call it the quickie, going for the quickie, where it's convenient.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe you were good friends. Let me ask you a question. Maybe did you come out of something that was tough? Did you come out of a bad breakup before that?
yo, honestly,
Was she like your transition? Hey, I just need kind of a friend with benefits right now because I'm healing. I'm trying to figure things out.
actually, you know what it was? I was in a relationship for 3 years, and then that ended, and I purposely decided, like, you know what? I'm gonna just date. And I met her like 2 months later. And I said, when I
Yeah,
met her, I was
that
like,
sucks,
hey,
man.
That's the worst.
you're cool, but I'm just looking to date. And so I stuck with that the entire time.
That's kinda the same shit that happened
Off
to
and
me.
on 5 years, and then I didn't get a girlfriend. I think till like 8 or 9 years after the last girlfriend. Because I said, I'm just gonna date. Because my whole fear
Was that the line
like,
or was it? Was
no,
that
no, no.
legit?
It was like my fear was my next girlfriend will be my wife, and now my next girlfriend is the woman I'm engaged to.
Yeah.
So that kind of I talked that into fruition, but it was just like
yo, we got a lot in common, yo.
So,
use that line. Look, girl.
Nah, because I've actually said that exact same line to people because I believe it. like-
Line? It's not a line, brother. This is reality, man. It's reality.
All right, I said
I
that
use those same
reality.
exact words.
You know what?
I
had
use that
I had that
script.
same feeling like the next woman that I date and I consider her my girlfriend, that's going to be the one, and I'm real picky about who I decide to be that
But
person.
I think
I mean,
sometimes that's not fair too, because now your expectations is going to be more than what her expectations are.
Possibly,
Because
yeah.
how many times you get into a relationship in the beginning, you're not thinking about 10 years down the line. You're thinking about the now. And that now could be 3, 4, 5 years. And then all of a sudden after the 6th year, hey, what we doing? We getting married? It's like, yo, we was cool the last 5 years, and yo, years go by like this in a relationship.
No,
You
they
don't
do.
never talk about marriage. after the fourth year, yo, what we doing? Then if I say what we doing, we all right now. I'm wasting my time. How am I wasting your time? Because we was good the last 4 or 5 years. Like, why is it has to be a year where
But the thing
it's
is,
supposed to be
I think
age matters?
I think it's better.
Like 18. Like,
Yeah.
we together 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. Under 30, that makes sense. I think,
Right.
yeah, I think
you might
under
still
30
be in college.
Exactly.
You might still be.
I think
yeah.
under 30 makes sense. And like I was in a situation where I was with someone for 2 years, and someone asked me like, "Yo, you gonna get married anytime soon?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna get married for like I don't know, like 35. So you're gonna date this girl for 7 years?" I was like, I didn't think about that. Like I was thinking, like, damn, I didn't really oh man, maybe not. And I had to really think about it because at the time I'm like, I didn't really put the numbers together. I was always just thinking that me getting married would always be a future thing. And now someone actually put it in my face, like, are you gonna get married like right now? I'm like, no. That means you shouldn't be with her. I'm like, nah, don't say that. She's cool. Things is going good, But again, I think once we pass 30, that's when even relationships now, because like even out say out here,
accelerated.
you meet somebody, you're 30 or 31. She might be the same age or maybe a little bit older. So after like 6 months, a year, they're like, yo, so what's good? And you have to be, I was just dating.
So what's causing the question not to come up in our minds earlier? Maybe
right
at
off
6
the jump.
months. I mean, maybe at 6-8 months. Maybe at a year or something
I
like
can
that.
speak for myself. I try to, when I'm dating somebody, I try to figure out maybe after like 6-7 months, like if I can see myself actually working towards something going further. And if I don't, it's like then it gets kind of crazy. I haven't dated that many people that long recently, but but that's the thought pattern. Like I couldn't see myself dating somebody for 3-4 years and then trying to like, yo, what we doing? Like I'm not
At this point.
At this
When you were like
point,
17, it didn't really matter. Like,
when I'm 17, it's nothing. Like I'm not even thinking like
no,
that.
because now, like, we're on a clock. Like, I think guys have a clock, too. Like, for me, it was like, all right, I'm going to be 35 end of this year. I kind of went into this year knowing, like, all right, I've been with this girl for, like, a year and a half. It's like, got to make it or break it. There were things in the back of my head, like, I could see it, but this, but that. And when I came into the year, it was just like, all right, I got to really see what's what this year because I'm wasting her time. And wasting my time. Because, like, if she's not the one, I got to get her out of the way and find the next person.
And that's
before I'm, like, 40.
And that's mature. That's playing fair.
Yeah.
Right?
And
That's,
see,
that's adult.
That's dating like an adult.
Now, my angle is suppose she says, yo, I'm feeling you, I want to be with you, but
I want to get married.
I don't want to get married yet.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't love you and I can get married. But I guess she's gonna have to just deal with it and take what you said and respect that, or work
And it
on
comes
the
down,
ground.
as long as it's put out on the table, then you let the other person make the decision. By you not bringing it up and not you addressing that question, then you taking the option from them to make it.
So
their own
that's saying that
decision.
if I decide to walk, you can't get mad because I told you.
That's right, because the timing's off.
Yeah.
Timing is everything, yo. Timing is everything.
And that's real right there. It's not even
Timing
like
is everything.
they can't come back at you like, oh, you fucked up. How? I explained to you my entire plan. I
Wait, you
told
talking
you
to
where
a
I was at. Yeah, I mean, it's still
Nah,
crazy.
see, yeah, they don't want to hear that.
Well, but that's fair. But it's fair, right? They have to date like adults too.
No,
Yeah,
like,
see,
like,
now, that's the thing that's interesting because I remember, and I've read it and I've actually heard of people say it, but someone was like, whenever everyone has the talk, it's always the talk about whatever, whether it's are we gonna get married or are we gonna have kids or where's this relationship going? But usually when we have the talk, it's like one person says one thing and the other person hears another. Doesn't matter what you're trying to say. You can be as clear as day, but when you have the talk, and if you guys aren't on that same communication level, you could be like, yo. I don't want to get married. I want to be with you, but let's just like not the marriage thing is not for me. Like past history, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And in her head, she's like, cool, we'll just be together until eventually he'll come around and let's get married, and like that kind of thing.
And many of them waiting for the guy to come around, right?
Exactly.
He's gonna come around any day. I know.
Sometimes it might even be reversed.
I feel it.
And I know reverse too.
My knees tingling.
And I know reverse too, where I know a guy that he comes from, mom and dad are still together. Dad's a preacher and all that kind of stuff. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna get married. That's my thing. And the girl that he's with, she's like, I'm not. Marriage is not for me. I'm from a single parent home. I've seen what it's done to my family. I just don't want to be involved in any of that. I still want to be with you.
Ring out. She's like, oh,
Exactly. So, but it's
Little rock, yeah.
so you start to see both angles now, and so I think a lot of times, just as a lot of people always say, oh, guys aren't as mature as women, blah 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 blah. But on the women's side, sometimes they're not as mature either. They're just kind of just going with it to what they perceive it, but not necessarily actually being mature about the actual decision.
You know
Hear
what?
that, Nikki?
I want to. You know what? That's a really interesting point. Actually, when I was coming up, and gosh, I guess mid-20s. Funny enough, we talk about
1920s?
1920s. Yo, when we talk about role reversal, right? There were a lot of guys that I knew that were serious about the woman and were obviously making their commitments. and many women at the time who maybe were focused on their career, maybe were focused on school, or had some other ideas financially, etc., and were not as committed to these guys that were willing to be to settle down.
Yeah.
And some of this comes into maybe what some of women's expectations are, things like this, financial expectations otherwise. But then time passes, and then they're talking about, well, it's not even about money. And this is what I hear from women today. It's not even about money. It's not even about his job. If he just someone I can talk to and someone I can just kind of curl up and cuddle with and have a conversation with and a connection with, that's all. I don't care what he does.
Yeah.
But this is now mature women talking.
Yeah.
Because
the times have changed. But it could be this that those couples were just incompatible in a certain sense
at the time,
because they had just total different objectives. If they both were career minded and both focused on trying to build up, they could have built as a couple going towards one goal.
The thing is, just because someone asked doesn't mean you got to say yes.
Yeah.
Just because a guy asks a girl or a girl asks a guy, you don't have to be like yes. Like it's not an automatic thing.
That's true.
It does sometimes reaction like, oh yeah, hell yeah, give me that.
Right.
But it's like you don't have to say yeah. And I say it all the time that it's like just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're the right person for that person. You can see someone on paper like, yo, this guy is great. I should love him. I should love her. But I don't.
Yeah.
Like it's on paper, like it looks great. Like what's wrong? Like, I'm a good cat. Girls say all the time, I'm a good catch. I got my stuff together.
But your jump shot is off.
But you're not.
You're not
There's no chemistry.
Can't box out.
And then in terms of dating, that's another funny thing. Some people get locked into the dating scenario, right? And then they're looking at the person that they're dating and they're thinking, well, you know what? I mean, this person's really great. However, what about that person? Oh, I just met someone the other day. She's funny. She's athletic. She's such and such. She's smart. Oh man, I met someone else again 3 weeks later. She's smart. She's got a great sense of humor. And then you keep going and going. Each person is attractive. And has attractive qualities. And you can find a dozen people that are attractive, but it doesn't mean that the chemistry is gonna be just right.
Exactly.
Right?
I think Beyonce's attractive, but she went with shit.
You didn't have that one opportunity.
Right, you didn't have the opportunity. That's what it was.
You was on the corner.
Nah, man, that's like Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri. So she went with Jermaine Dupri. That means we all had a chance, son. So let's real talk. Jermaine Dupri, he was like this small. I'm saying.
You've heard this before somewhere.
But no, that's true. Because I mean, it's funny because I remember same type of thing where the girl was like listing all their qualities or whatever. Oh no, I take it back. They were listing all the qualities they want in a guy, and they found a guy that listed everything top to bottom is all I want. But he's whatever. And she would even say an actual real reason. She just couldn't say why that wasn't the guy for her, even though he had all the list of the crazy, ridiculous demands that she wanted. Then some other
what's her name, Chili?
and then some other random dude, that doesn't have any of those qualities, but the chemistry's there. She went straight for that.
Kim, I think there's no answer for that because how many times you say, yo, damn, what does she see in this dude?
Right.
I have this, he has nothing. It's just something that
you can see,
something that she sees,
it's the chemistry.
that you see, and that's all that matters.
Right.
And then the rest you build, and that's how I think relationships last for a long time. Because if you with somebody just for that little thing they have right this minute, if they lose that, then what do you have at the end?
That's like the instant chemistry versus the building chemistry.
Right.
And like instant chemistry, we all have people that we know that no matter when we see them, boom, it just always it's never going away.
It will never go away.
We have girlfriends, we'll get married, but we see that one girl that just the chemistry automatically.
And that's why you leave them alone. Because if your significant other will not understand what she got over me, what she got over me, it's just something that you don't have, you will never have. But I'll leave that away. And I think everybody has.
There's a famous alcoholic saying. They say
What, the
that
group?
No, Alcoholics Anonymous.
The second round's on me. No.
If you don't want to slip, don't go away slippery.
Yeah.
The alcoholic said that?
Why would an alcoholic say that?
Because it's like if you don't want to drink, don't go where the bar's at. It's the
Right.
same type of thing.
Why did you say that?
I think sometimes would say that.
It makes more sense.
No, it's the same thing.
More
Yeah.
generic.
If janitor said that would make sense.
All right.
Alcoholic janitor.
Let me take it back. The non-alcoholic version is if you if you don't want to get stung, don't go to where the honey is. Basically, for like bees and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's the same thing.
I can get honey from the supermarket.
Now this brings up another interesting thing because a lot of people want to get into real relationships, and what's getting a lot of attention is kind of the how-tos or the what-to, right? Yeah. This is what you do when you go on a date. This is what you do when you run into somebody, and a lot of people, I think, kind of what everyone's saying here is there's a place where you kind of have to have an honest conversation with yourself, right? But I think a lot of people see what others see or they think they should be seeing or considering what others think is important. And, they kind of start to set up this ladder up on this building and climb and climb and climb and get to the top of this ladder. And they realize, oh, I got this person, he's this or she's that. And they start to list these qualities, 3 of which weren't maybe even important to them, to realize that they put their ladder on the wrong building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now they've kind of defrauded themselves a little bit. But, a lot of this is natural too, and that's why you got to take your lumps and go through it, because especially when you're young, you don't even know everything about yourself yet.
You don't.
Like, you're being as honest as you can, but you're kidding yourself in some ways, right?
Because you ain't got the keys to certain doors in your own mind.
Inception.
That's why he just got around,
Don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus, give me a
How's everybody doing? This is Charles Deveaux from loverules.us. That's loverules.us. Whether rain or shine, if I'm chilling at a party or by myself, I stop everything and turn on the tableoftruth.com.
No, but that's true because when I was younger, an older person told me they're like, a relationship should basically have you should be compatible mentally, spiritually, and physically. And they said spiritually could be religious wise, or it could just be chemistry wise. That's what they're saying. Like just to keep it across the board. Like some people are really into the whole she has to be a Christian or a Muslim or whatever it has to be. But this person was saying it could be that way, or it could just be that normal chemistry. And what happens is when we're younger, one of those things usually plays heavier. Like it's a physical. We're 19, 20. She got big boobies, cool. But then as we get a little bit older, then it's like, oh man, I just want a girl with a good personality. I want to talk to. If she doesn't look that cute, it's not that bad.
She got a fat butt.
So and then finally, as we finally figure out our, if we're hopefully that we're mature enough, we understand that all 3 of those things have to come into a balance. So you want that, if one person you have instant chemistry with them, but then at the same time they're crazy, you're like, I mean, she cool. But she is crazy. But she's so cool. And she's sexy. Yeah.
And now she's your crazy, sexy
exactly,
cool. Right?
And so
TLC references going there.
So whatever you do, just creep. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
You having an argument? Put on that red light special.
No, what I wanted to say earlier, and I forgot. I just remember now. I forgot who said it, but someone said that for men, if he's not immediately attracted to the woman, he never will be. Women are different. They can actually grow to like a guy, but for like a guy, like there has to be some kind of attraction. If she's like ugly to a guy, because guys are physical.
Guys are physical. I said that yesterday. Remember? I was like, there's no in the history of dudes being dudes. There's no way a guy saw a girl. Like, all right, I'm gonna warm up to her.
It's something. Yeah, exactly. Like she's cute. There's a body. There's something. Like you see an ugly girl with a banging body. Like damn. There's still something, but that has to be.
It gotta be a face. It has to be something. Wow, I really.
It's not just like
whoa.
Hey.
I don't know. Wait. Is there an exception to the rule? Right. The quiet,
blind.
The quiet girl that was on the side, right? You didn't really notice her that much. There was nothing popping, right? Mm-hmm. And you were just kind of cool. And then, something changed.
She grew glasses.
Right? Maybe the glasses came off. Right?
Exactly.
Had on a different dress one day. Went to reach for some books off the shelf differently. Why did you notice today and you didn't notice before?
That's what I was referring to with my friend. The armor got a little heavier. He can't pick up that sword no more. He's not that shining down.
Stop with this.
I want to make sure you understand what I was talking about.
This metaphor is going to go.
What am I trying to say? Like, you start seeing flaws that you didn't see before. The pixie dust is worn off.
Oh, so he was blinded by. So you saying
what flaws?
No, Charles is saying now you noticing her. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, now you're starting to
You
notice.
been hanging out with this chick for like a year. She's just a friend.
Right.
Like on the
It's the girl next door scenario, right? Ugly duckling into it,
A
right?
year later, you hanging out with her. She like the sun hits her one way. You're like, holy
Like,
shit,
wow, how did I
yo.
miss this?
What the? Where'd she come from? It's not the same girl that was packing back.
And that's more because she recognized her own sexy. And it took when she did
think
it,
she grew into
everybody
herself.
else saw that.
It could be you too. You can change her.
No, that happens. Same thing for guys
There's
too.
nothing wrong with molding.
But there has to be something.
There's
there.
nothing wrong with molding
I
a
have to
girl.
be like,
or
she's
significant
cute,
other.
like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, exactly.
She can't stay ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden you realize, you know what? You ugly and cool, but I like you. It's not going to last.
Exactly.
It might work for a little bit. It's not going to
But the
last.
scenario you perceived is not the guy wasn't dating this girl next door chick. He was just hanging out with her. He was
Right,
walking
right.
around, snuffing around. We're saying like a dude's never was like, oh, you ugly, but maybe I'll just I hang
Right, no,
around
that's probably
because you
not
gotta cook chicken real
Oh
well.
yeah, you make me laugh or something like that.
Yeah,
What dude says that?
Stay with her. You're not gonna stay forever. But it's not gonna last.
But
Right,
sometimes
right,
it can be like temporary, especially with a female.
You know, it's not gonna be the end game.
But
I
sometimes
would have to
relationship is that one little thing that keeps it going, man. You could be the ugliest in the world, man, but you can make me laugh. That's all I want,
Yeah,
man.
and that dude is probably ugly too. So that's
Well, you know what? Now hold on, because they say beauty's skin deep now, right?
it is.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a different perception. I'll give you an
what beauty
example,
is.
right? You're talking with a bunch of friends, and one says, "Oh, I like my girls to look like this." Another one says, "Oh, I don't like that. I like my girls to look like this." And then someone says, "Hey, Ja over here, he likes his women with hair on their legs." And someone says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, well, you said hair on your legs. So I mean, so like she doesn't shave?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't like them when I like them when they don't shave their legs." And so the other, so
Sound like Gerard.
so this other dude, Chris, goes, okay, just so I understand this correctly, is that like you don't throw out a Rolls Royce because it's got a dent in it? And he says, no, this is more like a Rolls Royce with a set of rims and a sound system.
Ugh.
That's what
To him.
That,
To
for
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
for him,
yeah.
you know.
Right now.
So
Yo, all of us were like, whoa.
The six of us are sitting here and a chick can come in, all of us have a different opinion on that same chick because
Right.
everyone has their own taste.
Right.
I tell you this, I'm not dating no werewolf, yo.
Some girls come here, oh, yo, fellas, woof, yay,
Straight Yeti stays.
But I honestly, I can't see a guy. Know how great this woman's personality has to be?
Yo,
bigger,
exactly.
And she ugly, and you just like, oh, you know what? You're just crazy cool. I'm so
you gotta stop lying. Your fur,
Lying to yourself.
as rose.
I love the way you braid the hair in your elbows.
Skin feels like bed sheets, clean bed sheets. I'm like, you know, baby, I'm tired of lying. Pack this shit, get the hell out, or go to the barbershop.
Oh, dude. That's... So, all right. So everybody on the panel here, do you guys feel that you're mature enough to date in your current state right now, or did it take? Or you still got things to learn, or do you think that you're there yet? You know yourself enough that you date maturely, or do you still think you got some time to grow and figure out what the hell you want to
Well,
do?
he better say no.
I'm out of this.
Shots out to the wifey.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, the answer is yes. Believe it or not, you still have to date your wife from time to time.
That was deep, son.
I'm on that level too, man.
Flipped it on.
Drop the mic, John. Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
I'm on that level too, man.
What?
What level?
What level?
Dating.
Wesley Snipes level.
Late level, baby. Date walker, yo.
You're a date walker?
I'm a date walker,
Date
man.
walker?
So you think you're mature in your state right now to be
Yeah.
dating? Like you know what you want,
I know what
you
I
don't
want.
and all that kind of stuff?
I know what I have. I'm good. Yeah.
See, that's good. Dwayne?
I know you ain't. But nah, I don't think I'm there yet. I feel like I have ways to go, so I'm not playing the field, but I'm still figuring myself out. You know what I mean?
Still scouting.
Yeah, getting
looking
experience,
Yo,
getting some
doing training.
stars.
This is the new Oscar Madison Feel His Hunger right here. He will be 58, saying the same thing, wearing those same glasses, and that same hat at 58. Mark my words.
Pope?
I thought I was, and I realized I still got some shit I gotta learn, yo. So, I'm almost there. I'm at like 90%.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
almost there.
Can you know everything and still not know enough?
Yeah, I want
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the marker like
There's
wisdom.
more.
It's like there's always more to learn. You know, you're never gonna know everything.
But you'll never know everything.
And if you did, you probably get bored. it's fun to learn new things.
Do you want to know everything?
No, probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
Like if
not.
you knew everything about women right now,
That's what's in nuggets.
because now you can't unlearn it.
Yeah, there's no one learning it.
So maybe it's a good thing to go through the struggles and
You got to.
You have
got
to.
to.
arguments.
Yeah.
That's what keeps the blood
Life
going,
is
man.
easy. It's
Yeah,
not
man.
fun.
Do you want to go through your whole life and everything's perfect?
Oh, I don't. I sure don't, because I know I ain't perfect. I don't want to be perfect, man.
I'm gonna put my nerd hat on for a second.
They all
Talk
say,
about video games.
Let's talk about the
they all,
Matrix.
what you say?
Oh, okay.
What you say? I got the book of excuses.
Yeah, you do,
That's-
yo.
You do.
My book is
This shit
I
is
got a
infinite,
novel,
yo.
man.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, this shit is infinite. yo.
Volume 17.
Every page got my bad in it, no matter what situation. That'd be interesting. My bad.
No, but like I was saying, like in the Matrix, the first time they did it, they made everything perfect and no one believed it, so it never worked. like everyone questioned everything. It was like, why could everything go right all the time? And everybody questioned it, so the shit kept crumbling, you know. And that's why they started making it more realistic. And that's what life is to me. Not the Matrix, but like I want the shit to be trials and tribulations make you the person you are. And if it's all perfect, then you haven't experienced anything really, you know.
Yeah, and even like with us, like we have the podcast for almost like a year and a half now, and we have friends that do relationship blogs and all that. So we have a collective knowledge of a lot of stuff about women and love and relationships. But even now, we're still having conversations right now, and learning new things and asking the right questions because we still don't know everything. And then
like you said earlier, Charles, you'll never know everything, yo.
Yeah, it's.
Like, my stepdad's learning shit about my mom. She's doing the same thing. Like, it never ends. It's like it's an endless cycle.
That's
man.
great because it's boring otherwise. It's like, all right, I know exactly what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
You're gonna order this.
It's on the counter at
3 o'clock. But maybe that's why a lot of relationships end because they always say, "Hey, I thought I known you. I thought I knew you."
Or you could get bored
true.
too.
You wasn't what I thought you was, but we're still growing. You're never gonna know. I don't even know what I thought I was. So who the hell? How can you judge me? I don't even know myself.
You know, that's funny, man. They say women hope for men to change, and men hope for women to stay the same.
That's true.
I can see that.
No, because I can work in the good or bad.
No, but I think we change every day. You know, and that's why I think like sometimes a relationship you break up for a while trying to come back together doesn't always work because you change every day, and it's like when you're together, you're changing together, and you're witnessing those changes. Because like if I don't see you for like 5 years, I'm not the same dude that you knew 5 years ago. Hopefully not.
Well,
You know that I've changed.
That you changed.
I feel every 5 years you evolve into a more mature person.
Sounds like every 3 for me.
I mean, it's in there, right? Because
I guess,
developmental years are 7, but you 3. I'm 3. My wife and I, every 3 years, whether we say it or not, it's magic checkup point. Like, look at each other. Like, where are you? Okay, where am I? We look at each other. Okay, we still going the same direction. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it's natural. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was saying it's the same thing. But for me, like every 5 years, I see a difference in the things I was doing. Like where I was in my life, what I'm doing, like the experience I'm having, where I want to go. Like it evolves and it changes every 5 years. And I've seen it in other people too. Like 5 years ago, you wasn't doing the things you were thinking about doing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dwayne. Everyone evolves so fast, and
Same thing with your bed.
exactly.
That's like when you see. That's like when you see your ex-girl from X amount of times, whether it's like a year or 3 years later, and you're like, word.
Dodge the bullet.
That's wow. All right. Like, hopefully, like I mean, it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
I know for some
the other way.
You want to
Yeah,
be.
the other way.
I mean, to me, it's like if I see my ex-girl, I want her to do well. Of course, so that's the. But in reality,
That's solid.
again, like you'd like.
Wait.
That's mature, in fact.
To do well, but you want to do better than her.
No, of course. But that's what I'm saying. At least
Now you got it right.
I
You
still
got it
want them to be in a good place. Not saying I don't want a malicious thing or anything like that. But at the same time, when you do see him and you're like, oh man, where
your legs?
That's your dude? Come on, man.
Right, you insulted me now.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like, but it's true. But then at the same time, now you see where you guys grew differently now. It's like a year later, 2 years later, you went this way, then went that way, then you see each other again, and you're like, wow, there's no way I could be with this person right now. 2 years ago, of course, but now we grew in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
But you see them 2 years later, and you're like, man, I fucked up. Like I really fucked up. Damn.
You don't really
But
know.
I don't think like that because one, you can't buy me. So I don't care what you're doing 5 years later. So once I say I don't like you no more, it's over.
That's a
I don't. You could come with a Benz. I gotta have a bicycle. If I'm happy with myself and I'm content, I don't care what you have, because I know she might be saying, "Damn, I wish I could just chill and ride a bike with you." You might like that about me, that I'm not the flashy type.
No, that's real
I'm
love.
the simple type, and that's real love.
Right,
and
right.
So I'm good. I'm good off that. I don't need that.
That's solid. That's why it's also important to be an individual and kind of. I'm sorry to kind of get back. Even when you were talking about dating with purpose. What I was saying, a lot of people get wrapped up in the what, all the little steps of dating and things like this. If you got to kind of have your own little personal why set up from the very beginning. Otherwise, you're not going to know how to go about. You're not going to understand what it is exactly that you're looking for. Or that you're trying to set yourself up for. But I think the why is important.
No, that's true, because then like you said, in general, most people when they're dating just to date. And like New York is one of the best places for that.
Especially if you're young.
If you're young in New York and you're a guy, It's pretty
Gender
easy.
male.
There's a lot of women out there.
It's a fun
You know,
time.
it can be a very fun time. Now let's look on the opposite, where women, they're having these issues. Like, no, they're saying, oh, I can't find a nice guy, or every guy I meet, he's a player. He's not really trying to be in a real serious relationship. And I'll pose the question to them. I was like, well, look at the guy and where he came from. Maybe he was from somewhere where there was way more guys than girls. So when he comes to New York, he's like, yo, this is like a playground. Like, why am I going to sit down and get settled with you when there's tons of girls out here?
It's that grass is greener syndrome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then,
Like, yo, look at the grass.
so that
Fertilizer on it.
and they're running around.
Is that an organic fertilizer? That's that chemical stuff.
Exactly. And then on the flip side of that, for
I
guys,
want to cut that grass.
then for guys, it's like they meet these girls and then they have these like crazy expectations, and the dude's like, "Word, what are you bringing to the table?" I'm over here because she's cooler. Peace. And then they go on to the next girl.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it goes. It's like this weird. Like, New York is a very interesting place because of that dynamic where there's so many people that are always just dating. Whether it's I'm dating because I want to marry somebody, I'm just dating just to have fun, or I'm in an environment where I'm always meeting new girls. Like Tosh Poinell, he's like my favorite quote this year. He's like, you know, he's like 29, 30. He's like, I have my own TV show. I'm dating this girl. She's like 28. She's one opinion away from getting cut. Because he was like, I know where I'm at. So, I mean, literally, but it was funny that he said
She
that.
was like 21. I heard that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Wow.
But it was funny because he said that.
Getting cut, yo.
But that's what, I mean, his options, because he has options. In other places,
Is that
guys
the
don't
tie you're
have
wearing
that.
today? Get out.
But it's funny because in other places, guys don't have the option.
Right.
They're like,
my new thing right now. Someone asking that. I have to ask the question all the time. Where the good guy? I'm gonna say move. That's my new response.
If it's not, this place is not for you, go somewhere else that like, you know, DC or Atlanta or all the places they keep saying that
Not
there's-
Atlanta. Sorry, Atlanta.
Sorry, yo.
But
It's
it's
different dating
It's a different demographic down there.
the building.
Heavy hitter.
No, I'm just seeing. But yeah, so you're right. Like that's actually that's good. Like there's all these girls that talk about like say from California, they'll come here and they have trouble dating because of this different dynamic where guys have options and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
probably any major city.
Yeah,
like if you're in a major city, leave.
yeah, and then they'll go back home and then you know they're wifed up, they got kids, they're married now, they're happy, they're doing the whole thing.
But don't you think there's one out of the bunch in here that's for you? Since there's so many options.
But it's a bigger
Possibly.
bunch.
Yeah, it's a
It's
bigger
a bigger
bunch.
bunch. Like you got more competition. It's just a lot of.
Yeah.
New York is a crazy city. Like you know, like I was single. Like I said, like 8-9 years. It was just because I could be. It was by choice. It wasn't like, you know, there were times certain girls I wanted to lock down, but they didn't want to be locked down. So
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. Next.
You just go to the next one.
You know,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like I had that freedom. You know what I'm saying? But like other places, small town was like there's only 5 girls in the town. You got freedom already. And the other 2 are your cousins. What are you gonna do? You got less options.
Fifth cousin. So
It's like a restaurant, yo. Like you got Chinese food, fucking Greek, Mexican. You have all these options, but other
Vegas buffet,
places,
son.
yo, I'm tired of pizza. That's all you got, so that's all you could do.
Nah, that's actually hilarious because that's true. Especially again, like I'm from the Bay Area where that's one of the arguments that we talk all the time. Like, man, there's mad dudes here. You go to the bar, it's literally
Man, Jose.
three guys to one girl, and it gets after a while. It's like, fuck, if you find a cool girl, locking her down. I got a
Yeah,
girlfriend.
when we was out there, it was
Yeah.
one girl, and then the girls that Dick was there had him in.
Taken.
yeah, but it was.
I've seen when we was out there. It was.
And then you come here and girls buying you drinks, or you know you talking to different girls or whatever. So now you're in that mode where like, yeah, the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh man. But all right, so now we talked about pretty much the gamut of different like maturity levels and all that. Now, do we still think that women are more mature than guys when it comes to dating, or is it?
It depends on the person. It's always you can't answer that question one way. That all women are this way, all guys are that way. Even to backtrack a little bit, when I said dating with a purpose, sometimes some women date with too much purpose.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're
You know
just looking for
exactly
this
what they
husband.
want.
Yeah.
And that's
It's a
the
fairy tale.
off. Yeah.
So it's a balance of your purpose where you're just like, all right, I'm really looking at these people as specific, you know, candidates for what I want. I remember like my homegirl a couple of years ago, she was nowhere near 30 and was like, yo, I'm on a 3-month rule. I date a guy for 3 months. If it ain't going nowhere, next.
Wow.
And like, at the time, I was like,
What's the definition of going somewhere?
like, you know, marriage. She wanted to be like, you know,
going
like,
straight to the playoffs.
want to
Not
know
even-
like what was
not
going
even
on
through
with
the season?
that. She was like zoned out like that, but this was like 7 years ago. She's still not married, you know. But it was just like so that I can look back at it now. It makes a little bit more sense rather than waste your time. You can really look and see how that foresight, like, all right, Professor X. This isn't gonna happen and move on, but she was like 3 months cutting them off. Like she cut me off for the 3 months. Like what the hell? What's
He's
going
like,
on?
Fucking
You
Nikki,
know?
yo.
have the best conversations, the best everything. 3 months?
Yeah,
That's a lot of
exactly.
pressure.
Yo, and then 3 months depends on, are you seeing each other every day?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know the way it is
Is
now,
it
you're
once a
busy.
week? That
We
might-
working,
you doing
It might not be
a
enough
lot.
time.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
3 months really, like I don't know who you are. Like,
But
you
it
know?
depends on what she's looking for specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
I
why
mean,
I
but
think
she was
online
looking to get
dating.
married, you know?
I think online dating has been is so big now because you can literally be like, okay, I want this, and this. Don't want that. I want this. It's like 45, 100 something different.
Hundreds of characters.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But these people that use it, they're going for a specific purpose. Like I want to get married, and then they find other people that want to get married too, and that's why those success rates are starting to get better. It's,
But,
it's
you know,
interesting though.
and that's funny because you can match up a bunch of characteristics, right? Now we were talking a moment before,
Chemistry.
You're dating someone. Hello, right? You're dating someone today. You look over across the street. You end up speaking with this young lady that you saw coming out of her office like a week later. Just a casual conversation. And you say, "Wow, she's intelligent, she's athletic, and all these things that you're attracted to now, right?" So you can match up I'm thinking hundreds of characteristics, right? But is the chemistry the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when these people get together, well, they're gonna have to date at some point, right?
Yeah, they're gonna
Now they're gonna find out
the real
how
person.
compatible are they?
Yeah, they have
Truth
all
be
this
told.
stuff, but what does that have to do with that? Can they have a whole
Right.
conversation? Like,
Yeah,
do they have
exactly.
social skills?
So my thing is, marriage isn't something that we do. Marriage is something that happens. Marriage isn't something we do. It's what happens. Meaning, I can put my name on a certificate. I can go down to the Justice of the Peace. I can go before the congregation in the church, and I can put marriage on any kind of document I want.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of cognitively working my way through it and making it so, right? But if we don't naturally unite, if we don't naturally connect, and that's really to me what a marriage is. It's a real connection. Then I'm kidding myself, right? Maybe I dated her for 4 months, 4 years. I'm like, you know what? We're just at that point. Maybe this is just the next step.
next
This is the next step. But no, that's not correct.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Maybe you're forcing it. So I'm thinking a lot of this doesn't happen so much cognitively. Settle down. It's all right. You know what I mean?
time. It's 3 months
So
term.
ultimately, what is a person looking for? Are they looking for something that they think cognitively fits a frame? Or when you say this young lady's looking for 3 months, she's kind of putting everybody through the 3-month interrogation, right?
Yeah.
Is she giving things a chance to actually work, or is she putting everything in her box, in her frame, in her checklist?
Yeah.
Because then you know what? It's going to be another 7 years, and another 7 years, and she might pass up on the things that are clicking because up front they don't seem maybe a couple of criteria missing. So I don't know what her criteria are.
Yeah.
But
Then she
But
gets
that goes back
frustrated
to
and
timing,
jumps on
too.
anybody and has kids.
A long time.
now
Yeah.
she's stuck out.
Now she's stuck out now.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
frustrated.
And actually, I know a bunch of people that they met people at the wrong time, and it's interesting to see them now. Like whether in high school or something like that. One of my friends, he met this girl, and their chemistry was crazy, and they clicked really well. But she even said it. She's like, you're the person that I want to like marry or be in a serious relationship, but I'm not there yet.
Right,
And
right.
so they went their separate ways. Now he's married, has 3 kids, been married for 9 years. She's married. He has like 2 kids. They still have the same chemistry. They're still cool.
Right.
But it's just interesting to see it, like, because it's almost like a TV show, like a sitcom or something, where like these people should be together, but
Right.
they just weren't. It wasn't at the right time, at the right place. So they went on this totally separate pattern, and you're looking
Right.
at it again, like, man, they would probably still be happy
Like
together
parallel
now.
universes, right? They
Yeah.
could. Right?
Yo, not for nothing. I swear with that, like my mother, her childhood like boyfriend, like I actually met him for the first time. He has a daughter born the exact same day as me. Like, and my birthday is day after Christmas, which is a weird birthday. Same day, same year.
Twin sister.
And he'll always say, like, jokingly to her, like, I should have been his.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and when I met him, he said it again. I'm kind of like, I mean, he said, but he kind of said like in a kind of kismic way. Or he said something to the fact that just like
He's Darth Vader, son.
just like how like the universe was saying that they should have had a kid together at some point. The fact that they both had a kid the same day,
Same
and
time,
it's
right.
going so, but it's like a weird
Parallel
thing.
universe
Crazy,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know what's kind of dope about that? Because when something fits, though, there's also a chance for it to come back together. Even if you do part your separate ways, right? Love is love. It might be 5 years down the road, you end up coming back together. I know a couple, older couple, some reason the timing wasn't right. They parted. They lived in different parts of the country. The woman got married, had 2 kids. They stayed in touch by phone. Her marriage didn't last very well. Ended up getting divorced. They ended up in the same town at some point. Got married. They were like 55 years old.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And they got like this was like a 20-year, from when they were friends and had just had great chemistry and good relationship, and their lives diverged.
Yeah.
But what's cool about what you were saying before is, here's a big thing. I think a lot of people don't always think that there are limitless possibilities in terms of soulmates or people that you can have.
Yeah.
You know, I think people lock it in their mind like, oh my gosh, all I got is this one or this one chance. I think if you open yourself up to, there might be a lot of people that you can have chemistry with. I think you're going to win. You know, I think that you're going to have things that are going to work in your favor.
Does anyone here believe in soulmates?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What is your definition in? Because I used to think, like the same way you're talking too, like soulmate was this one person that was
Maybe
on the planet
multiple
for you.
soulmates.
And I met somebody who made me believe that the soulmate is more about, it's not so much being that one person for you for the rest of your life, but that one person that's going to put you over to the next level. Like you meet them to help you grow into the next level that you should reach as a
So it
person.
doesn't have to be a relationship, pretty much.
No, it could be a relationship. It could be just somebody you meet in
Close
passing, or you
friendship.
spend like a close friendship.
close friend.
But they help you to discover
Grow
shit
as a
about
person.
yourself.
Everyone helps you grow. You know, they should. Like, you know, even from like you can look at all your ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, whatever, and see like how what you learned from them. If you didn't learn from that relationship and you kept making the same mistakes, but I think that like I can look back on my exes and like. That ex made me learn this lesson, which made me a better person for this
That's
girlfriend.
I mean, that's
I
of course
think
it's the progression.
those are they weren't soulmates in
but
that part
to
of
me,
the
it's
analogy.
like the soulmate is that she stands out. Well, I has to be close to being female, but she stands out amongst everyone else because like you hit that point, it's like a big jump. Like when you hit those other relationships, it's small steps. Like you learn, maybe I should come over more than once a week. You know, maybe I shouldn't come over only at midnight. Like you learn little shit as you go along. So I can do it twice, and then I have to bring flowers next week. So like you learn little things, but when you hit that soulmate, in my opinion, like it's a
but
big
I think
jump.
I think it's that it is that chemistry where you just feel not comfortable.
It's that
I might say
too.
the wrong word, but just like, yo, this feels right, and like
Connected.
you know, because for me to be like 8-9 years single, and then to pick a girl to be like my girl, like I said, I was scared to get someone this title. It was just like, nah, this feels right. I can look down like I had no problems with her.
Yeah.
It was just me. I was the problem. I was like.
How you get over your own
Not
self?
ready.
Dating like
the
an adult.
grass is
Yeah,
greener.
dating like an adult,
I
yeah.
want to still see what's out there. I want to do my thing, you know. And it's just like, all right, you know what, bump. And it was like a big decision to be like, all right, hang the jersey up, man. Just no more practice round, and just
Happen
like and
naturally.
just go in. And it's like, all right, boyfriend,
Hall of Fame
girlfriend,
speech.
and then ride that out. And then now to be like, all right, now I'm ready to go to the next level. Not because like, oh, there's a clock, I'm about to be 35. It's just like it just felt right. Like I went in
Do you feel like 10 years ago, could you be doing this now?
10 years ago.
Yeah, if you
Hell
met
no.
this girl, you know what I mean? Like you met
this
her
girl
10 years
when I
ago.
was 10 years old.
Do you feel like
Not like the whole thing about saying earlier about the way you change every couple of years. I think 5 years ago is probably when I had a big change. Like I did Ramadan for the first time. I look at that as what matured me.
Gotcha.
You know, because it was a lot of reflection, and I was like, you know what, like just actually apologizing to people things that I did. Look back like, damn, I was an asshole for that.
Right.
I'm a
Yeah.
good guy, but I did her wrong.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
this was bad, this, that, and the third. And I think it just put me in a different perspective where 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, it just wouldn't have been the same thing.
Gotcha.
Because, not for nothing, like my fiance, I met her 5 years ago. We talked for a bit.
nothing?
I cut it off. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm good. I'm going to see what else is out here. And then the stars brought us back together.
Yeah.
And then it's like, brought us back together, and it was like another shot, to try it again. But like, there never was any kind of problem. It was just saying, hey, I'm feeling somebody else. I want to go this route.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, fuck you, whatever. And then still had to be in the same circle, and it was like still connecting, still fuck you. But ended up, hanging out again, and then it was like, and I knew I was mature enough to say, all right, I can't date her again,
Yeah,
and
and
put her
then
through the same BS. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it right. So I was like, all right, after whatever how many times, like
I'm
9
getting a
months,
Bentley.
let's be, let's be boyfriend girlfriend, let's be in a relationship. Because I gotta take that risk. If I'm trying to be with you again after hurting you last time, I gotta
Yeah.
really be serious about it. So
Yeah.
that was me thinking like an adult, not thinking with my dick, like, all right, whatever.
Right.
Let's go.
That'd be free.
I'd venture to say that you probably, to get to that point, I think, I'm wondering these days, I mean, the same kind of thing was for me and a lot of people that I talk with. I'd venture to say that to get to that point, there has to be a period in your life where you're on some pure self-reflection and some time away to really get clear. Oh man, I'm sorry, I was a jerk here, or I was a jerk there. Man, I really wasn't 100%, understanding what was happening in this particular relationship. While I wasn't clear about what I wanted here and there. I think there's a period where you kind of have to be really kind of clear, and a moment of reflection before you can actually maybe even fully be, I don't know, an adult on that.
Yeah, it's that me time. You know,
Me
people,
time,
people
right.
always jump in from relationship to relationship. Like I know people that like they are never alone. Like they jump, they're in one relationship, they end it like 2 seconds later. Yo, girl, what's
There
good?
was a lot of finger pointing.
I can honestly say in my 20s, I probably had 2 years of just me time.
2 minutes.
2 years.
You're the king of
Wait.
Bohemia, B.
Wait, the only good thing about it, that's something that I wanted to do. I wasn't forced. I wasn't rushed. For some odd reason, I could never find a girl who just says, "I'm retarded and I just wanna fuck." I don't find those. I'll find them.
Best quote.
And I don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus, give me a...
What up, y'all? It's Anslem Samuel, aka NWSO of NakedWithSocksOn.com. Chilling right here with the boys over at Table of Truth. I'm cool. And I'm like, how do I just cut those off? So yeah, when you said that just now, I'm like, wow, that was some deep shit. I never had
It was like-
jealous right now. Like, I never had that
But
2 minute, you know,
Reflection.
reflection.
yeah,
Exactly.
and then when you get to that point, because then you can kind of really, like you said, you can really figure out, okay, am I really an asshole? Was I really the nice guy or what?
Right.
Like my ex-girlfriend from say 6-7 years ago, when I moved out to New York, we were still together for about 2-3 months, and then when I went back, I realized, okay, if I'm supposed to be her best friend as being as her boyfriend for X amount of time, I'm telling her you should break up with me because I'm not coming back. And I know you're not moving to out here because of whatever reason. And I was really trying to. It took me a little bit to actually come to that this situation. And I was just like, let me be real because I'm not coming back to the Bay Area. I'm staying in New York. We could do a long distance thing, but then what's that really going to do? I'm still not coming back. Are you coming here? And then and then I had to be real with myself. Do I want her to come? Maybe I want to be out in New York and be single and try to learn new things or whatever. but it was a moment where I actually had to really be real and be like, you know what, I'm actually going to be trying to even though I'm the mature person, I'm still being selfish. I'm like, yo, I know I'm not coming back, so I'm letting you know, like, you should break up with me because I'm not going to come back.
That's still a pump boy. I said, you should break up.
See?
I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You should break up with me. If you don't, okay, cool.
But that's very loving and mature, actually.
And so, because I mean, like I said, like she was a good girl, and now, like, no, looking back 6 years later, what happens if I would have stayed? It'd have been a whole different me, a whole different person. I'm more
Probably
like,
wouldn't be sitting here.
yeah,
You still
I'd be
have
married.
dreads.
I'd probably have kids. I
Still
wouldn't
have
be,
dreads?
But being that you're married, coming from somebody who's not married, do you still have that time where the me time because you're married? So David, again, I'm supposed to mean you find your soulmate. This is the one. You share everything with her, vice versa. But do you still have that time where you need to push away a little bit?
Yeah, let me.
And still have, your mental space? Like, do you get clogged up sometimes? Because marriage, you would think that's supposed to be the ultimate
Go.
goal.
Right.
That shit is work, though.
Yeah, people think the same thing about world peace. Like somehow there's gonna be a time where everything just kind of settles out, right? It's like everyone, like there's gonna be a hush across the earth real quick, like, and everybody's gonna look at each other and be like, "Oh, yo, I think this is it.
We did it.
Like, yeah, here we are, and that, and I think people think the same way about marriage. Like, here we are, like, oh, it's just gonna ride out like this. Oh, it's just gonna be harmony the rest of our days, And it's not like that. Let me be honest. This is why. Well, this is the funny and yet important thing when you were talking about getting the chinks in your armor and all this other stuff, and taking your lumps, because dating like an adult is what's going to be required throughout
Your marriage.
Yeah,
In fact, at any point, and granted, right, each party's going to compromise for one or the other at times. You're gonna, each person's going to take a moment carrying the load as needed, compensating as needed, right? But if at any point you begin to kind of lose yourself and become dependent upon your partner, or lose your identity, or anything like that, you are going it's going to be out of balance. Your partner's going to feel differently about you. They'll still love you, but they're going to feel differently about you.
And that's just human nature.
And that's human nature. So you still have to do the things that keep your, edge sharp. You still have to be the best at what it is that you do. You still have to look sharp. You still have to,
Make the best bowl of cereal
you still have to court your partner. Believe it or not. I mean, there's plenty of time where you're not doing any of that, but you have to court your partner.
So
you're always dating.
You're always dating, and you're always doing the things that make you the best. The minute that you are no longer basically it's supposed to be two independent people working together.
Yeah.
Period. Right.
Coming
The minute
together
you
to
start
be better.
thinking that, the minute you start thinking, oh, this is the person that completes me, and something's not happening, you're gonna start to feel like dependent upon them.
leaves.
Right. Right. If the person leaves, if they're not around, I'm not the same. If when you talk about your friend, oh man, he's not carrying his sword anymore. You know, people make jokes. Oh man, she's got your nuts in her
No,
purse,
I can honestly
or
say
things like this. You have to
I can honestly
stay.
say I've been through that because with me, I always think, hey, my personality and character will get me through anything. But I'm not thinking on the other side. She's like, fuck your personality and character. What else are you doing? and when you're young, you think at one point, this is all I need. And that's
Man, baby.
Well, but it's your personality and character. It's
Well,
your
my
character
personality
that'll let you know what you need to do to get those other things in order. Yeah.
So I had to come to realization that I have to change. Maybe I don't know all about me. And that's why, I guess that all comes with growing and experience.
Yeah, and I see that a lot.
But that's dating like an adult, right?
Learn something right
But I
now.
feel like the perfect relationship is really 3 relationships. It's like you got a relationship with yourself, on solo.
That's true.
Relationship together, and the other person has their own life. Because like
That's right.
I remember, when the last relationship I had, I said it was before my current one, it was like 3 years, and when it was over, I look back and I was just like, yo, what do I do for fun? I knew what we did for fun. I knew what we did for Friday.
And you remember what you used to do for fun.
But it was like, and then like all your friends are gone. You cut all your friends off. It was just like, what's good? And after my lesson from that was like never to like get so caught up in the relationship where like it's just only
lose
relationship
yourself.
can't lose
and there's
yourself.
nothing else.
But is it me or is it with guys? It's easy to say, baby, I'm going out with my friends. See you when I see you. And with girls, it's like they don't have that many friends.
They say females don't have as
It seems
much
that way.
friends.
They have guy friends. You don't want them hanging out with
Guy friends, yeah. But it's
I think it goes both ways because I mean,
does, yeah.
it just depends on your like I call it relationship style. So like one of my friends, he was dating this girl, and when they got together, when they weren't in an actual relationship, they had fun. It was like things were cool. When they're actually boyfriend girlfriend, her relationship style was like, okay, this is my boyfriend. Now all I do is hang out with him, and that's it. I cut all my friends off. But she thought that way because that's all her friends are.
Right.
So when they all have men, they don't hang out with each other at all. Where he was kind of like, okay, I have a girl, I put my time in, I'm always
show my
committed,
boys.
but I have my friend time. He was a dancer, so he did some dancing stuff. So it was, and they started to have these conflicts because she was like, yo, what about me? He's like, well, where's your friends at? Well, I don't hang out with my friends when I have a boyfriend. He was like, that doesn't make any sense. So
your friends.
yeah, exactly. But different people have those different
about your
relationship styles,
friends?
and some people are like that. Some people are like, yo, if I have a girl, yo, girl, you stay home, don't hang out with none of your friends. My boys are good. It's just you and me. That's it. But other people are like, okay, I gotta have my boys' time. You gotta have your girl time, so we can each be sane, so we can bitch about each other to our friends, or at least so we feel that we're not just kind of like when people have Facebook. And they have one Facebook for the couple.
Right.
And that's just hella funny to me.
Oh, wow.
I've seen it. A lot of my friends in like the high school, it'd be like, yo, this is Dan and Michelle's Facebook.
I didn't know that.
Whoa.
And it's kind of like, I mean, okay, I understand.
And then they have a single Facebook
No,
page
they
also.
don't. They don't. They cut their, once they're together, or they just cut their
They
actual
join
Facebook.
into a page, like a fan page?
They have
Oh,
one page
okay.
for themselves.
So
But-
my friend from 3rd grade is now her friend from 3rd grade?
yeah, basically.
That's
why
Millions.
I think when marriage, like when you say you're married, I think there's the ultimate because at the end of the day, everybody's still selfish. It's all about you. And I think once you married,
You had a kid.
you're giving that person your name. Everything about you is not about you no more. And that's
You mean
why
not just about
not
That's
just
just
about
about-
you.
yeah.
Right.
When you're dating, it's about her, but at the end of the day, it's still about you.
Yeah.
And once you're married, that's the ultimate. Now you're telling yourself, we do everything.
It's us, right?
Yeah, you living with
us.
Well, let me ask: when dating, why can't it be about you and about her?
It can,
I'm still selfish. Son.
but if you're gonna let that happen, that means you're working towards getting married.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
Dating like an adult.
You went from here to here to here, all the way back to the end, and it was like message. But my younger brother, he's like, I have 3 younger brothers, and 2 of them are married now. And so the youngest one was like, Cam, you'll get married when you want to live for someone else as opposed to living for yourself. And I was just like,
The youngest one told you
the
that?
youngest one told me that.
Like, nigga, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a good point because that was real. Because he was saying that, he's like, when you're married, you're not selfish anymore. You have to live for somebody else, whether it's your child, your wife, and then it comes to you because you're 3rd now. You're not number 1 because now you're married, so it's you and your wife. And then when you got kids, now it's your kids first, then your wife, and then you got you. So a lot of times, and a lot of guys can't think about that and then once they get in that situation, they're like, yo, man, I just need to leave. I need to go. I need some homie time. Like, you call your friends up, and this is not gonna happen. And I think some guys like totally just say, you know what, F it. That's just how it is. If I'm married, I don't hang out with the boys. I don't do anything. We go where she wants to go to. That's it. And they kind of almost like they give up. Kind of
yeah,
thing.
you can't throw it all in.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of dudes that do that, and it's like sad, but then at the same time they're happy, quote unquote, or I think they're more they accept it.
She told him they was happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like almost like they accepted their fate.
Put those nuts back in my purse.
But it's funny because those are the type of friends that are married that are boring, quote unquote. And then I have other married friends that they're fun to hang out because they still do things like whether it's together or separate.
Right. You still have to do things. You have to maybe cut down on the guy time, right?
Exactly,
You
yeah.
know,
Like, no
this
one's
is not the frat party the way it was.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the funny thing, really. I mean, in another way, your girl, you should be able to treat and act around your woman the same way that you would around your boys. That's my approach, my philosophy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
right? Which is
theory.
which is why in many cases, as a guy finds his woman, he's like, you know what, like that's why I'm hanging out with her because she's like one of the boys. Yeah, in many ways.
She likes porn too.
In a porn.
Dude.
So pretty much,
He said he's trying to learn like that's what I gotta do, right?
pretty
So
much-
Wesley Snipes.
word up, Wesley, you need to come out of jail. Man, I gotta holler at you, man. But anyway,
Pretty
Jail
much
too,
right?
anywhere after 30, if you are going to talk to somebody and date, it should be your main approach should be what are we doing long term. No more of this talk on the phone. Let's go to movies. Pop. It should be let's get to the point. Let's build. If we're not building,
That is part of it.
that's what-
that's
what-
Going to the movies and
It depends on.
Yeah, I think that's
well,
right.
but should the approach be, yo, I'm with you because I think I can build something with you,
But you have to
and
get
lay it off the line.
But you have to get to that point.
You can't be like,
just
I'm 30.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be like,
Yeah,
excuse me,
Rocque everybody the same
miss.
way.
How you doing? Your name is Jacqueline. All right, cool.
I'm just-
All right, you want to get married? You can't.
I would say the moral, dating as an adult, should that be?
Like kind of what you're holding in the back of your head.
Yeah, I was about to say,
This
yeah.
is 20. If you, whatever age, people get married at 18, different ages. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's not an age that makes you dating like an adult. It's like your mentality and
Mentality.
strategy.
Yeah.
You get there naturally, not like forcing it. All right, 25, I gotta feel like an adult. But
Around 30, you should be at that level.
Yeah,
It depends on where you are.
In theory, you should be at
It
that
varies
level.
per person.
Yeah.
'Cause some people hit it earlier, some people hit it later.
I mean, there's people at 30 that still act like they're 21.
You're supposed to have a college degree at what, 21, 22?
So
Some
they
people
say.
get it at 40.
Yeah,
So
right.
it depends on where you are in your life.
Right.
And it doesn't. And
But I
can't
understand
force
what
it.
you're saying.
I
But
understand what you're saying, but I
I
don't
wouldn't
think you
force.
can
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to force
and
it either.
I don't think dating like an adult definitely means that you're working towards being married. It means you get to a point when you're in a relationship, you are focused, you are honest with what you're talking about, and you talk to your partner like another person.
But at
not
30,
like
we're dating. If we're not working to marry, what are we doing?
That's
date.
but that's not
I
for
mean,
everybody though. Marriage isn't for everybody. Some people believe in it, some people don't.
The
It
relationship's more
depends
important
upon
than
your
marriage.
comment. Right, you guys
The
have to.
relationship's more important than marriage.
Yeah.
You have. It has to be basically the two people got to agree on the
Agree.
definition.
Whatever
They got.
they do.
They got to
yeah.
define it for themselves.
There's
and-
people together who like 15, 20 years. They're not married, but they're happy in their relationship because they choose to do that. You know?
I was going to say Oprah and Stedman, but that's not a good example. You know?
But people do it. It doesn't have to be marriage. If that's what you want, then that's your definition of what dating an adult is. It may not be mine. I'm not saying I want to get married, but that may not be mine as another person. You know, you can't say, "Oh, you're not dating like an adult. You're not trying to be married, son."
I think it's a commitment.
Yeah.
A marriage is like the legal commitment.
Yeah,
but if you're
exactly.
committed to each other and like you're having a solid adult relationship
Right.
without the
Then-
marriage,
right.
because you can date like an
You
adult.
mean without the marriage on paper?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
paper. Like
Right.
you just
like
like
dating
you
without playing games and like.
Yeah, the trust. You have the trust with them.
Trust,
like,
real trust,
like-
real
But why do
connection.
people keep on saying marriage without paper? To me, when you give somebody that ring, that really means this is it.
Yeah, but you have
Yeah.
to forget
because
now.
You can say all you want. Oh, we got that good relationship. Why we need a marriage? You're only saying that because you ain't married. Now, if I pop that question to you, what you gonna say? Whoa.
She may not want
Wait
to
a
be
minute.
married.
But a
So
ring is
then,
not gonna make you
therefore,
mature.
that
Right,
quote
right.
that we're saying that we're together with our marriage, which is all it was a front.
I think 20 years ago,
It was
yes.
a- it was
right
a
now, with the
What-
state
I
of
don't
marriage,
understand
look
what
how many single parent homes now.
Right.
Look how many people growing up with that single parent.
Right, the
scheme.
ring don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
That's
there's
50% divorce?
Yeah, so it's crazy now because it's funny because I remember I was talking to my younger brother. He's very into church, Christianity, all that kind of stuff. The Christian marriages, they actually have a higher divorce rate than the normal marriages.
Right.
So it was funny because we're talking about marriage and all this, and the joke is every time I see my parents start fighting or whatever, I'm like, yo, can you guys make a little better example for marriage, please? Because I want to get married eventually, and they say, shut up.
Right.
But it's funny because again, it's your like for you, marriage is like, yo, we're getting married, we're not getting divorced, something like that. Other people are like, yo, this sucks. After 18 months, so I'm done.
I just can't be with somebody for 30 years and say, you like where we at? Yeah. Okay. Like to me, how I was brought up, marriage is supposed to signify. That's the ultimate.
But that's your
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, that's your upbringing.
That's for you.
Because I've never been grown to say, yo, you meet somebody, be with them for the rest of your life, but don't get married. Because theoretically, we're just still friends.
And I met people before. They're like,
With benefits for 30 years.
But wait, but in your mind, did you already commit to that person? Like before you actually give someone a ring,
You gotta know that this is your wife.
like 3 months in or however many months in, you start.
For years.
Marriage is like,
I mean, precisely. Whatever the time is, and then the feelings,
which is the main thing.
you get to a point where you're like,
After 15 years,
I feel
I
a
better
certain
love
way.
you to that level after 15 years.
Right.
So if I do love you on that level, why just not get married?
actually, you know what?
homeless?
All right, like people.
What if you homeless? You ain't got no money for
All
no
right,
ring.
peep
Ring
this.
costs $2, man.
Wait, hold on.
Material, it's not about material.
Wait, peep
It's
this.
not.
Is your parents married right now? Still together?
No.
Charles?
yeah.
No.
Pope? Nope. Mine's still together too. And
Fuck you, man! That's that
no, but it was funny because
whole point
like
is to say that.
no, but this I was saying that because certain people look at it certain ways.
Right,
so
true.
certain people that have like their parents are still together, they look at marriage with a very almost like it's a very strong thing. Like I have to get married. That's what it has
It's a
to be.
reality.
Some other people they saw how their parents were married. They broke up. They took two ways. Okay, I'm never getting married because my parents is shit
'cause it doesn't work,
But
right.
the other people were like, yo, I don't want to be my parents.
Right,
So
I'm
I
gonna
want
commit
actually
to get it
I want to
done.
be
Right,
committed.
right.
So now you have a big generation of people that are our age that look at marriage in this totally different skewed way. Because like I said, 20, 30 years ago, marriage is a big deal. You're not getting divorced. That's just how it is. Nowadays, it's not as important as it used
No
to be.
big
I think a
Yeah.
factor with that is that a lot of kids are growing up without their fathers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So there's not really a male presence in the house.
And
so
you
it
have
doesn't-
social media. You have blogs.
MTV.
I could tweet, yo, this guy's getting on my fucking nerves. You could have used that minute trying to work out your relationship. But now you don't have to do that. You could just say, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yo, what should I do tonight? Dump him. All right. Yo,
Like
so
how many? Think about right now. How many
Yeah.
divorcees do you guys know right now? They're under 35. Like you actually met.
Most of them.
Like people that's actually been divorced in a marriage for X amount of years. And it was funny when I was younger. I would never think of that. I was like, some of my own age is like, oh yeah, I was married for 3 years, didn't work out. And I'm like, wait, what? Like in my mind, it's weird.
Actually, I shouldn't say most of them, but I mean, there's plenty, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
but-
and it's weird to me because I'm like, so why did you get married in the first place? Oh, I thought, blah blah blah. I didn't.
Right,
think
but
of it
here are these
seriously.
definitions again, right? Because I mean, you made a really good point. Like, well, here's the family that I came from, and this is how things were done. Well, why? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because if you go back 20 years, 40 years, husbands and wives didn't talk in the same way that they do now. We didn't communicate as clearly. Their conversations weren't about.
it was straight
People didn't
men.
talk about
Yeah.
sex. People didn't talk about things on the way that they do now. It was duty.
Yeah.
Hey, we're at an age now. Hey, we're supposed to settle down now. Hey, there's a job now.
This
hey,
is the roles. I do
right.
this, you do that.
What happens
leave my
next?
mom's
Yeah,
house.
division of
Like a
labor.
program.
Everything. Yeah, it was pure socialization. How I grew up. So this is why I'm saying each couple has to kind of be willing to define their own understanding, because otherwise you're trying to fit your
something
thing,
that ain't.
which is it's like trying to live in the past in a world you never lived in.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you're sitting there trying to form your life, which has a whole different context,
Then what do you
whole
think with
different,
that?
to
Yeah.
something that existed in 19
Whatever.
70 or whatever.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
expect it to have the same degree of success.
Yeah.
So I think that you can have success, but you gotta
You gotta be
you gotta
flexible.
adjust
You
it. You have to
gotta-
define it.
Yeah.
And it's just little
And do you
tweaks.
think that's the reason why there's so many divorces and
Hell
breakups?
yes.
Yeah.
Because I think most people will not take the time to define outside of what the norms are.
Yeah.
Or they're afraid to
They get
to
mad
have
for
that
the wrong
discussion.
reason.
Yeah.
Everybody has a short attention span too. Like there's so many things you could jump to, but back in the day, like I'll pick up a phone, I could call this girl. I'm talking back in the 70s. I'm guessing. Like you'll just go to that one person's house, you just do that. Now, you got so many different outlets. You know what I mean? Like you're on the internet. Like the internet was up back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also
everything.
too,
She get all info and gossip
She on my
and
laptop.
shit.
and also too, again, like when you say, you got a girl pregnant, all right, I'm marrying her. Done.
Done.
There was no,
Done,
there
yeah.
was no like
That's
maybe.
what it is, right?
It was just like, yo, yeah, man. It was your mom for like 40 years.
Right.
I hate her, but I love you.
Right. And you did it as long as you could. Child is now 8. 12, 14, whatever. Now maybe a divorce occurs.
My dad-
But the whole idea is that you did your best to commit because you.
Starbucks.
But it was crazy because I remember one of my friends, like, I went to his house and his mom and dad, they slept in separate beds.
Separate beds, right?
And I was like, I didn't know about that. Like, wait, my dad goes to bed later than she does. Okay.
Doesn't want to wake her up when he goes in.
Yeah, and then, but in my head, I was like, there had to have been something. And later on, I found out he got caught cheating. He had a whole other family, girl, 3 kids, the whole 9. But it was cheaper to just stay together.
And they made it work.
And they made it work. I mean, the love is gone and everything, but they're there for the kids. The kids
Kudos
know,
for them, man.
But then the kids know full well what's going on,
exactly.
like all that. But so I'm like thinking,
But
okay,
you don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you go inside the house.
so it's like, what's worse?
In the
Like,
bedroom, actually.
Yeah,
Go to
exactly.
the bedroom, man.
but it's like, what's worse? Like, sticking it out for the kid or just splitting, and I think that's the biggest question now, because now we have all these kids, like you said, growing up with the old single parent homes. Not saying that that's a bad thing or a good thing, just that that's the reality now.
No, but if the relationship is bad, then the kids doesn't need that. Like, you're having 2 parents.
Exactly.
Having 2 bad parents.
It's worse.
Yeah,
It's worse than
no, I
having
totally
one
agree with that.
good one.
Totally agree with you on that. Because that's what's so interesting now. Because you'll see it, like people like before, they would be together, 60 years, but they hate each other.
right.
And then they're talking
And the
about
household was miserable.
And they're talking about now the divorce rate. It's not necessarily the young kids; it's the old folks by like 55,
That's
60.
a phenomenon right now.
They were saying
There's
like
a lot
once
of.
the kids are gone,
Yeah, man.
they're looking at you
Yeah.
like, I hate
Now there's
you.
nothing in between. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't like you.
Right.
Who are you?
And they were saying the
And
same
you
thing
want to hear?
with
And you want to hear
Japan,
what's
same
funny? A
thing.
lot of it is based on.
Japan?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is based on old stuff.
Yep.
Old stuff. It's not something that happened in.
1972.
Yeah. It's like, it's old stuff. So you know that the conversation wasn't evolving, right? The conversation, the definitions weren't changing. They got stuck in a place. Some things went down. Maybe they stuck together for the kids or whatever it is, which is crazy. But yeah, that's a big phenomenon right now.
And I think that it's really
That's the wrong time to be. When you're looking in your golden years, ready to need someone to care for you.
You're back to like, I'm gonna break up with you.
Yeah, I'm back out there.
Oh yeah, 65 and over club. But they're saying Japan had the same thing for older couples, because once they got to that 55, 60, the man was never around. He's working 16 hours a day, blah blah blah. Now he finally retires. He comes home. He sees his wife more than 8 hours. He's like, I don't like this girl, or she doesn't like him.
Who are you, right?
And now they're starting to break. So now you have all these older people that are single now and trying to date, and so it's just a weird, crazy dynamic now.
That's really funny. I ran into this dude just a couple weeks ago. I guess he's got to be he's at least 60, and he said, you know what? He said human personalities change every 10 years, right? He said when you're young, be mature, right? But do what the moment calls for. Like, don't be afraid. Like, he said, man, because his wife was not doing very well. He said, 10 years ago, we took a trip to A, B, and C. He said, if one of us had said, no, right now I got to do some work or whatever else, and now here we are 10 years later, and she's sick and she can't make this trip with me. So he's like, take these things as they come and do these things together. He's like, luckily we took that trip 10 years ago, and I tried to do it now. He's like, I'm happy she's still with me, but it might not have happened at all. So whether it's having your children or whatever else, like what he's really talking about is, again, that kind of communication.
Yeah.
Being in that moment, having that connection as these things pop. And because every 10 years, well, now I don't feel like doing this. Like, who the hell are you? When did this?
I like to travel.
Yeah, I don't like to travel. When you stop liking to travel? Remember that time you went with your sister? like. So yeah, it's interesting, man.
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap this up. We got some good conversation. I thought some fun things. Wait, I'm about to do my last words, man.
Well, I wanted to say
go
something
ahead.
before your last words. I just wanted to say.
We don't get last words.
Oh, we
Whatever
do?
you're gonna
Yeah,
say.
you know what?
You want to go first? Go ahead.
Exactly.
No, I'm not gonna do
Nah,
that.
so
No.
last words, Charles. You can go first.
No, I want to say that it was been a pleasure being on the table of truth, and this show is solid because I love the fact that you guys are not afraid to talk about anything and have the conversation that a lot of people might not have at all, and it's all up on the table. And
what we
I
here
think
for. We
that's
talk for the people, man.
that's outstanding. So the courage to have the conversation. Thank you for having me come through.
Don't forget to plug your.
Loverules.us. That's loverules.us.
Oh,
Nickel
me?
socks?
You know what I'm saying? I want to say.
Get that CLC album. That Wesley Snipes DVD.
Nah, in terms of the topic, I think definitely it was a good conversation to have, and it is ill, for me to you know, I got engaged, and I know Will asked me before, like, you know, you gonna talk about it? Because, like, you know, I'm a private guy.
I didn't say you. I was just asking if you was. I wasn't trying to.
Nah, you tell me that. No.
I signed the contract.
Nah, but it's like it's good now to talk like an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because now, like, you know, I'm in that space, and it's been something in the back of my head for like 2 months or so that I really couldn't talk to her about. It's like, you know, it's supposed to be a surprise, but now, like, to kind of have these conversations, to sit with a brother that's, you know, I'm aspiring to be in your spot. In a couple months or so. You know,
Thank you. Welcome to the club.
you know. So I think it's a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, I just gotta say, go to nakedwithsockson.com. I need some ad money.
Pope.
Again, thank y'all for coming to the show.
Worst last words ever. All the time, yo. Thank you. You gonna recommend a movie this time? Yo, go see
Art of War II with Mr. Snipes, son.
Get your haircuts, fellas.
Go ahead.
Dating like an adult, I think, is mostly just being honest with yourself first, and then honest with the other person. That's it.
And
Wow. This is probably one of the first shows I didn't even joke that much, man.
Surprisingly.
You were crying a little
This show was good for me, and whoever was listening, I'm sure it was good for them. So I like to thank the guests for coming. It was deep, and whoever listening, this was straight 100. There's just nothing written. This wasn't discussed. It's straight from the heart. So I'm out.
And Wesley, if you did, you know
Wesley,
what I'm saying?
I'm calling your agent tomorrow. You will be on the show. You will be on the show, Wesley. I promise you'll be on the show.
Wesley Snipes could not do Hitch, dude. Just saying.
Yeah, we know that.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I feel like this was one of the best podcasts we have in a while. Because I really didn't feel like talking. I just felt like sitting back and listening.
I was sitting here soaking in like,
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
like,
life changes
okay,
right now.
Why we
son.
talking right now?
taking
son? I'm
notes. I'm like, all right, Charles, I know you said. But yeah, man, like, I learned a lot. And at the end of the day, Nikki could kiss my ass. Bottom line, yo. She heard me.
All right, Cam, last words. Yo, thanks to the guests for coming
So the
through.
third person?
Yes, man.
Go ahead.
The Cam says. Yeah. Thanks for the guests coming out, and the fellas and all of us. It's like, you know, we like bringing in guests, and because it's really fun for us, because it makes us step our game up, but also too, it kind of keeps us honest too, because we don't want to. We, like you said, you're trying to make it as 100 as we can, you know? And we learn some stuff too when especially when people have stuff to share. So, because we're not the authorities on anything, maybe except for Wesley Snipes over here, but but it's good for other folks to kind of come in and either challenge us or, you know, bring up issues that we never really thought of. So overall, I thought this was a good podcast. Go team! And that's Table Truth. And yeah, man, we out.
Peace.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey.
You just listened to part 2 of the 30 Plus series. Stay tuned for part 3, Dinner for 8. Peace.